Daily Tech News with Alan Smithson.
Good morning. Welcome to Daily Tech News. Today is Thursday, June 6th. Wow. One of those wow moments when NVIDIA, that took 30 years to hit $1 trillion, 9 months to hit $2 trillion, and now they just surpassed $3 trillion valuation market cap. So let's get into it. It's going to be a jam-packed day today in Daily Tech News. So NVIDIA, the big elephant in the room. NVIDIA has just surpassed Apple as the world's second most valuable company, only after Microsoft. The AI chipmaker stock has surged 147% so far this year, underscoring the shift in the tech world as demand for its processors far outstrip supply. And yesterday, as you remember, we covered the Blackwell series, and we talked all about NVIDIA and their incredible inventions and their incredible new chipsets that are 1,000 times more powerful than they were 8 years ago. But I think their stock, I guess maybe it was a premonition. Yesterday we talked about NVIDIA, and today their stock is worth $3 trillion. So it was up 5% just yesterday alone, and they closed at $3.01 trillion, which is absolutely incredible. And actually, they're going to prepare for a stock split of 10-1, meaning current stockholders, all the valuations will be the same, but instead of being nearly $1,000 per share, it'll be about $100 per share. So this is very exciting. Now a lot of more people can get in and invest in NVIDIA. So let's just take a quick look at Yahoo Finance here and see what they have to say.
Because the record run, as we were just talking about, is continuing. The chip giant topping $3 trillion in market cap at a record high today. And here to discuss more is senior tech reporter Dan Howley. Dan, you and I recently had the chance to talk with Jensen Huang, the CEO and founder of NVIDIA. And what we were trying to sort of get at was like, is this going to keep going? Mm-hmm. Now, Jensen is a big idea guy, a visionary, and he didn't say it in so many words, but he kind of said, yeah, it's going to keep going.
So the question of whether it's going to keep going, I'll put it this way. By 2030, in the globe, data centers will use between 8 and 10% of the entire world's power. So yeah, I think it's going to keep going. Maybe not NVIDIA, maybe AMD will make a run, maybe Intel, but it's going to keep going. Okay, so how much electricity does AI consume? It's not easy to calculate the watts and joules that go into a single Balenciaga Pope, but we're not completely in the dark about the true costs, energy costs of AI. AI is a energy beast. So it's common knowledge that machine learning consumes a lot of energy. All those AI models powering email summaries, recital chatbots, and videos of Homer Simpson singing nu metal are racking up a hefty server bill measured in megawatts per hour. But no one, it seems, not even the companies behind the tech, can say exactly what the cost is. And it's interesting. They dig in here and they get into the training a large language model like GPT-3, for example, is estimated to use just under 1,300 megawatt hours of electricity, about as much as powering 130 US homes. To put in context, streaming an hour of Netflix requires 0.8 kilowatts of hour of electricity. That means you'd have to watch 1.6 million hours to consume the same amount of power it takes to train GPT-3. Of course, that makes sense because you're training the model. That's not to use it. But once the models are trained, anybody can use them for a lot less, right? Maybe not so much. So power is a beast. And here's another article on how AI's energy hunger is upending IT's procurement strategy, because AI-based queries use 10 times the energy of search. Okay, so here is a breakdown of search. You got Google search, which uses less than a watt hour per request. ChatGPT is up around 3 watt hours per request. And AI-powered Google search is over 8 watt hours per request. These are huge numbers, and power is going to be one of those things that is going to be the limiting factor for data centers in the world. Okay, what can you do with all this really cool found tech? I found this yesterday, and I just thought, wow, this is just super neat. This is the blend of the real and the digital, the physical and the virtual. Check it out. Let's watch it again. What is happening here? If anybody knows how they did this, reach out to me because I have no idea if it's CG, if there's an actual car driving through there. I have no idea what's going on. That looks super cool. Okay, this is really neat. Archer Aviation, we've wanted flying cars forever, and now we're getting the green light. The FAA, the Flight and Air Association, whatever it is, FAA in America just gave the green light to Archer Aviation to start with their electric air taxi service. So eVTOLs, or electric vertical takeoff and landing companies, our products can go up, basically straight up and fly and then come back down. So it's really interesting to see that these are getting approved now. And it says before it can launch, it needs to obtain certification for its midnight air taxi. I love the name, which means the aircraft meets all the FAA's design and safety standards. Thank goodness. It's a 4-seater eVTOL with plus one pilot. So 4 people, 1 pilot, and has a range of 100 miles, about 160 kilometers, speeds up to 150 miles an hour. So basically, you can get to your destination in about 40 minutes if you're 100 miles away. That's pretty cool. Very, very cool stuff. And yeah, that's what it looks like. We'll see where this goes. I want to fly up north because I don't want to be in traffic for that. All right. Scientists develop electrified charcoal sponge that can soak up CO2 directly from the air. This is really important. I mean, as we know, trees are the best way, and other kind of forms of greenery are the best way to soak up the carbon that we create. But it's maybe not enough. We keep cutting down trees. So we have to find ways to do this. And if this can absorb CO2 directly from the air, maybe we can put this as a trap before the CO2 is even released into the air. So I thought this was really neat. As always, I will put this link and all the links into the comments of the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe because it really helps the channel, and hit the notification so you don't miss an episode. Okay, over to Google. Google created this thing called an electronic nose. They're kind of envisioning the future here where you have this electronic nose on your smartwatch, and it's using quantum sensors at the very molecular level. Check this out. It uses quantum sensors at the molecular level to detect dangerous viruses, pathogens, allergens, and this would be really, really cool because at the molecular level, it's detecting the things in the air. And I thought this was cool. It says the quantum algorithm performs signal processing to enable new ways to detect and analyze molecules using nuclear electronic spin spectroscopy. In times, this may lead to exciting consumer applications. Envision a device akin to an electronic nose on your phone or smartwatch. Wouldn't it be awesome if your phone could warn us that you stepped into a room with dangerous viruses, or if your smartwatch could detect free radicals in your bloodstream, or warn of allergens in your food, or other truly useful cases? This is, again, this is way, way in the future, but the fact that they're thinking about this and they're starting to work on it should excite you. Another Google thing that is making a real impact right now is protein folding. And protein folding allows us to in a lab, test different proteins and how they work, and do it at a massive scale. We can test millions at once, whereas we used to do a couple per day per researcher. And so it says by 2040, we hope to see a new number of drugs that have been designed with AI reaching patients. I think that number is going to be a lot sooner. I think it's going to be closer to 2035, maybe 2030 if we hustle. But the idea here is that we're now on AlphaFold 3. So Dutch chemist, I'm not even going to butcher that, Gerardus Johannes Mulder described a new kind of molecule called a protein in 1838. In 1902, German scientists Emil Fischer and Franz Hofmeister independently proposed that proteins are made up of sequences of organic materials called amino acids folded into 3-dimensional shapes. That was in 1902. 1949, British biochemist Frederick Sanger sequences protein insulin for the first time, identifying the order of amino acids. 1950s, we have rational drug design. Fast forward a bit. In 1980s, computers can now start to look at these compounds using CAD, or computer-aided design, or computer-aided drug design. 2018, Google's sister company DeepMind entered the platform called AlphaFold. So in 2018, they created AlphaFold to study protein folding. 2020, AlphaFold 2 wins the experiment so soundly that even the event's organizers say it has essentially solved the protein folding. And in 2021, AlphaFold 2 structures predictions for all 20,000 proteins in the human body. Amazing. And now where we're going is AlphaFold 3. So AlphaFold 3 is a massive upgrade, and it will make our lives better and allow us to live longer, healthier lives. So that's super exciting. Okay, this thing's really neat. It's a robot that you can buy. Just here, I'll just play the video, but check it out.
The Cubli takes its name from a combination of the English word cube and the Swiss German diminutive Li, indicating something of small size. With a side length of 15 centimeters, it mainly consists of 3 reaction wheels, each attached to a brushless DC motor, motor controllers, inertial sensors, an embedded processor, and batteries. Inertial sensor measurements are fused to get an estimate of the tilt and angular velocity of the Cubli, and the Hall sensors provide the angular velocity of the reaction
It's a
wheels.
cube that stands on its
Based on
corner.
these estimates, a
How cool is
nonlinear
that?
controller is used to balance the Cubli on its corner, while the angular velocity of the reaction wheels is kept close to 0. Although this method of using reaction torques is similar to the one that is used to stabilize satellites in space, due to gravity, the algorithms used here are very different. With this setup, the Cubli can robustly balance around its corner while rejecting disturbances. Rotate while balancing.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I want one of those. If anybody knows where to buy a Cubli, let me know. I gotta have one. I want that on my desk. It's awesome. All right, Cartwheel generates 3D animations from scratch. So if you've ever had to make 3D animations for avatars, you know that you either have to use a mocap, you have to get into a studio. It's costly, and companies like Move AI have really kind of advanced that because they're using RGB cameras instead of volumetric cameras or motion sensor captures. But this is a new way to do it using text to motion, text to animation. Animating a character from scratch is usually laborious and expensive, requiring complex softwares and motion capture tools, like I just said. But Cartwheel wants to make basic animations as simple as describing them, generating a basic movement with AI and letting creators focus on the more expressive tasks. This is cool. There hasn't been a lot of new stuff in animation since I started doing it, said Jonathan Jarvis, co-founder and CEO of the startup and an animator himself. There's a big blank screen problem where there's a million buttons and options. This is true. Sometimes you'll spend hours working on something before you even see what it looks like. We help generate a motion you would get from a motion capture setup by keying it in a lot faster. It's just, honestly, it's one of those things that if you can type in quick jab, there you go, and it just animates the quick jab. So this is going to make animators' jobs so much easier. I'm very excited for Cartwheel, and you can check it out. I'll put the link in the chat as well. Okay, over to more 3D printing. This is interesting because researchers are 3D printing photonic lanterns for light wave manipulation. I don't even know what that means, but what I do know, it is very, very small. This little thing that they've printed is 100 micrometers in size. To put it in perspective, on the left there, that is a fiber optic core, which is already very, very, very small. And then this thing they printed is very on the tip there. Like, just imagine, this is just insane size that we're able to 3D print. And soon we'll be able to 3D print things at the molecular level. And once we're able to do that, we can just literally print anything. You want a car? Okay, we'll just, we'll print you a car. Or you want a new phone? We'll print you a new phone. And so I think by 2040, we'll have 3D printers in our houses, like the replicator on Star Trek. And you can say, tea, Earl Grey, hot. All right. Night vision lenses so thin and light that we can all see in the dark. So the idea here is that they've created these new lenses that allow us to see in the dark. So it says here, from evening drives to navigating a house or a park in the dark, there are so many situations where it'd be handy to slip on a pair of night vision lenses and see the world beyond human optical perception, and it could be eliminated like never before. This vision could be a reality with a technology breakthrough that could deliver an elusive view to everyday consumers with an ultra-thin film or lens. And here's how they did it. They were able to take photons coming in, they put them through this photocathode, and then they have this little micro channel plate and a phosphor screen, and that gives you, so this is traditional night vision, and then they have this infrared light comes in, IR to vis converter, and visible image. So it's a lot thinner. They don't have all of these extra steps. So they've been able to do that and create a visible image at night for us. I don't know when this is coming out. It seems like it's research, but having night vision goggles that anybody can just put into their Ray-Bans or something, pretty cool. All right. Over to the last thing on the list today. A remote tribe in Amazon finally got the internet, and of course they got hooked on social media and porn, because why not? Now, the interesting thing about this remote tribe in the Amazon forest got the internet because somebody brought satellite Starlink from there, and it's pretty awesome, actually. It's saved some lives. It's given them the ability to see what's outside there. It says, when it arrived, everyone was happy, but now things have gotten worse. And some of the men, especially, are getting a kick out of it. He said they lamented that the boys now with their own group chats were sharing porn and explicit videos, of course, which is unprecedented in their culture, which considers kissing in public taboo. Okay, we're worried that young people are going to want to try it, referring to what they see in porn. Obviously, they want to try it. It's porn. But now some of in the tribe fear that the internet poses an existential threat to their culture. Everyone is so connected all the time, they don't even talk to their own family, which is pretty much what's happened to our culture as well. So young people have gotten lazy because of the internet. They're learning the ways of the white people. Please don't take our internet away. It's really conflicted because they know that this is a thing, but the last statement here is, we can't live without the internet. So, we all are trying to make the best of this crazy technology that's coming at us daily. We're trying to remain sane and remain human in an age of exponential technology growth. And so let's try to talk to our families, talk to our friends. Let's make the human connection the central tenet of all this technology. And I think if we do that, we'll be successful in this crazy tech world. This has been Daily Tech News with Alan Smithson. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.